Look at this map of global mobile activity. The bright energy covering the vast majority of these nodes represents the Android ecosystem in 2026. It currently commands over 72% of the global mobile market. For a business that requires volume, Android is the primary opportunity. It offers direct access to the billions of active users required to reach customers and scale operations globally. To build these applications, companies consistently turn to India. The country continues to lead the global app development industry because it offers a massive, highly skilled talent pool operating in a cost-effective economic environment. But that accessibility creates a trap. Because development is relatively cheap, the app stores are heavily saturated with low-quality, poorly optimized builds that fail to retain users past the first week. You have to distinguish between paying a team to write code and investing in the architecture of a cohesive digital product. In 2026, choosing an agency is a strategic business decision that determines whether an app scales efficiently or dies in the marketplace. That brings us to GrowRankers, currently recognized as India's premier Android app development company for 2026. They distance themselves from standard development shops by using a strategy-first approach. They focus heavily on business alignment before writing a single line of code. This quadrant chart visualizes the hiring dilemma. The horizontal axis maps execution only to product partner. The vertical tracks investment. Bottom left dev shops offer low costs but strictly execute instructions. Top right premium partners like GrowRankers demand high capital but actively shape your application. To figure out if you actually need to pay that premium, we have to deconstruct exactly what GrowRankers does differently. Searching for an objective best agency is a waste of time. Your success relies entirely on matching an agency's operational model to your current business reality and budget limits. GrowRankers requires a heavy, strategy-first discovery phase. This involves mapping out exact business goals, user journeys, and UI/UX planning before development begins. This phase requires heavy inputs from your side. Your founders or product managers must commit significant time to define these parameters alongside their team. This flowchart illustrates the specific outcome of that planning phase. Notice how the top timeline, representing a planned architecture, remains straight and grows in capacity. The bottom timeline splinters off into broken paths. When you skip the planning phase, you end up on this bottom path. You build features users never asked for, forcing expensive mid-development pivots. The straight path ensures structural architecture aligns with your growth targets from day one, improving user engagement and retention. The trade-off here is time and money. You will not see code written in week one, and you will spend a large portion of your initial capital on planning rather than building. A strategy-first approach is a risk mitigation tool designed to prevent fatal product errors early on, rather than a hack to get your app to the market faster. GrowRankers deploys a modern development stack utilizing Kotlin, deep AI integrations, and Jetpack Compose. This conceptual blueprint represents what that tech stack actually builds. By combining Jetpack Compose with cloud-native backend systems, they create complex, multi-layered infrastructures. For industries like fintech and healthcare, this architecture ensures the application meets strict compliance standards, and it strictly maintains secure data structures. For SaaS platforms and enterprise tools, a cloud-native backend allows the application to handle massive, sudden influxes of new users without crashing.
But building a robust infrastructure introduces an operational trade-off. Higher architectural complexity creates a steeper learning curve for your internal team later on. If you plan to hand this code off to a junior-level in-house team to maintain, they will absolutely struggle with the transition. Furthermore, this level of engineering is overkill if you only need a simple, static utility app. Paying for a premium tech stack buys you future scale and security. However, it demands a high level of technical literacy and dedicated internal resources to maintain that infrastructure long-term. GrowRankers operates on a full lifecycle development model. Their engagement includes Play Store optimization, continuous app security testing, and active post-launch support. This contrasts with the traditional agency model, where the relationship ends the moment the code is delivered and the final invoice is paid. These self-repairing geometric blocks show modern software reality. Applications require continuous integration and immediate post-launch bug resolution to survive device updates and operating system changes. Full lifecycle support yields two benefits. Your app maintains high performance and retains visibility in crowded marketplaces. The financial trade-off is a total shift in your budgeting model. You move from paying a one-time capital expense to carrying an ongoing operational partnership and a monthly retainer cost. If you operate in a competitive industry, continuous Play Store optimization and active security patching make this ongoing operational cost a necessity. Treating your application as a living operational expense is required to see an actual return. The idea that a successful app is a one-time purchase is a myth. Look at this decision tree. To determine if GrowRankers is the right fit, we have to trace your primary objective based on your current business stage. Let's follow the first branch down to the profile of a funded startup. Startups need a minimum viable product to secure investor funding. GrowRankers' strategy phase prevents you from burning capital on unwanted features, which directly justifies their pricing. Now follow the second branch to the enterprise or growing brand profile. Established brands handling sensitive financial or health data require the complex AI integration and high-level compliance security that a top-tier agency provides. GrowRankers operates at the top of the market. Their approach generates the highest return when applied to a business that is already prepared to scale its operations. This solitary figure working in a minimalist space represents a very specific business profile, one that should look elsewhere for development. If you are an isolated, bootstrapped solo founder or a hobbyist operating with strictly limited resources, you should avoid hiring a premium agency entirely. A rigorous, strategy-first approach requires meetings, planning, and documentation. If you simply want someone to build a $500 clone app over the weekend, this process will actively frustrate you. If your absolute only metric for choosing a partner is securing the lowest possible upfront cost, engaging GrowRankers will stretch your budget unnecessarily and leave you without marketing capital. The ultimate equation is clear. Committing higher upfront capital and time to the planning phase yields long-term product viability and lowers your technical debt down the line. Choosing the right development partner in 2026 requires an honest, objective assessment of your own budget and ability to scale. You have to evaluate your reality rather than just blindly following a ranking.